Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. We're back on this Monday morning with another massive show to bring you guys today. But before we do that, please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel, bottom right-hand corner. Hope everyone has had a nice weekend. Apologies if anybody tried to tune in over the last couple of days. I had a couple of days off. I just needed a bit of time to relax a little bit. So I apologise if anybody did miss the show the last couple of days. We will, of course, be live today. So, yeah, I hope everyone is good. On the show this morning, we're going to be talking about the Manchester United pursuit of Antoine Griezmann. Now, this one is absolutely crazy. It feels like we're running back the years, doesn't it, with this story? We will be getting into that. We'll be bringing you some massive injury news as well ahead of the Everton game on Saturday, I believe it is, or it might be Sunday. Can't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, we play Everton this coming weekend. And we'll also be talking about Bruno's potential move to Saudi Arabia, which obviously we spoke about last week, that apparently a Saudi club were going to submit a bid of 100 million euros for Bruno. We obviously spoke about this as a community, discussed whether we thought that, you would take the money or not. Bruno has been speaking about this this link, so we'll be talking about that as well. Lots of other bits to get into. Do make sure to get involved in the comment section, get involved in the live chat. Let me know your thoughts on everything we discuss on today's show. With it being a Monday, let's start the show off with some positivity. Let's try and, uplift the fan base a little bit, because I know everyone's feeling a little bit down still at the moment. Now, big injury news came out late last night surrounding none other than Luke Shaw. And the headline is, Luke Shaw will return for Manchester United against Everton on Sunday. Very, very important, I think this is. I really, really do. I think that left side of our attack has really been lacking. Bringing Luke Shaw back in, obviously Wan-Bissaka at right back. Then you've got potentially Varane and Maguire as the centre-back partnership. I think our defence is very solid then. We're only one player away from what our defence was last season. Obviously, Martinez still being missing. But I honestly think that Luke Shaw was part of the reason why Marcus Rashford played so well last season. I think they link up really, really well together. Whether you like it or not, Marcus Rashford will be playing football for Manchester United. Whether you think that's wrong, whether you think that's right, that's up to you. But we can categorically say that Marcus Rashford will be picked by Erik ten Hag. He's our highest earning player. He's the poster boy for Manchester United. He's all of the stuff he does off the pitch, all the rest of it. He got 30 goals last season. He's going to continue to being picked. And I think that Luke Shaw being back in the team is a massive part of his success. Obviously, I might be wrong here. This is just my opinion, but it'll be interesting to see how Marcus Rashford starts to perform in the coming weeks and months when Luke Shaw is back at that left-back position. Lindelof at left-back, it didn't really work. Amrabat at left-back, it looked okay just to fill a gap, didn't it? Dalot at left-back, again, it was okay to fill a gap. But I think Luke Shaw, when he's available, he bombs down that wing. He puts balls into the box. He's a really, really good player, Luke Shaw. I'd say he's one of our best players. Genuinely, I think that. There are question marks about his injuries. I would agree with that. I think, he has been injured quite a lot over the last 5 years. Obviously, he had that terrible injury, didn't he, that he got in the Europa League where it looked like he would never play football again. So for him to have come back from that, it's incredible, really. So I'm really, really happy that Luke Shaw will be back. Hopefully he can stay fit for the rest of the season, because I honestly think he is a very, very important player for us. But let me know in the comment section, guys. Do you think Luke Shaw coming back is... how big of a boost do you think it is? And do you think he should be starting every single game for Manchester United? Let me know what your thoughts are. For me, honestly, it's massive, massive news. I really, really do, because we don't really have many options in the left back and right back positions, do we? We've got Wan-Bissaka and Dalot, and that's kind of it. Malacia, I don't know what's happened to Malacia, to be honest. He's, there's no news of him ever coming back from injury. Like, we literally know nothing about Malacia, so who knows what's going on with him. Whereas obviously in our defence, I know people don't like Maguire and Johnny Evans or whatever, but at least we do have options there. You've got Lindelof, you've got Maguire, you've got Evans, you've got Varane, you've got Casemiro can play at centre-back. You've got 5 or 6 players available in those centre-back positions, whereas in our left-back and right-back position, as soon as we had one injury, we looked very, very vulnerable there. So really, really happy about this one. But just on the flip of that, Andre Onana, the Cameroon FA have come out saying that Onana will not be part of their squad after suffering an injury to... I'm not sure what it says there. I can't read it. But Onana obviously sustained an injury a couple of days ago in international duty. I think Cameroon have one more fixture before the international window ends. And apparently he's not going to be part of the squad. So will we see Altay Bayinda on Sunday against Everton? I'd be up for it. I'd be up for it. I think Onana's done good since he saved that penalty against Copenhagen. I think he's been on a real upward trajectory. So it is a big loss for us to lose Onana now. I think he's slowly starting to build confidence. I think he's starting to look like a little bit of what we paid the 50 million euros for. He's starting to show us why we paid that money. So it is obviously disappointing that he's now got injured. But it is what it is, isn't it? It's football. And we've got this Altay Bayindir guy who we bought in the summer. He's supposedly very highly rated. A lot of people in the fan base are saying, why is he not starting? Why did he not play in the League Cup? So this is his opportunity now. So hopefully on Sunday, Altay Bayindir, if he does make his debut, hopefully he has a really, really big performance. And hopefully we obviously get the 3 points against Everton. The one frustrating thing, is Everton have obviously just had this massive point deduction, right? 10 points. They're going to be so hungry to win this game. Because you know what's funny, right? They've had a point deduction, but if they were to win against United on Sunday, they'll be out of the bottom 4, which is absolutely mad, isn't it? To have been deducted 10 points, but still be so close to being out of the bottom 3, sorry. So they're going to be so motivated. I know all teams are motivated to beat Manchester United, but I think the fans in the ground, they're going to be really, really excited, let's say. They're going to be absolutely buzzing, aren't they? Because they've just been handed this 10-point deduction. Some people think it's unfair. Some people think it's fair. Some people are screaming, what's going to happen with Man City? They've got 115 charges. Everton only had 1 charge. The list goes on and on and on and on. And I've got a friend who's an Everton fan, and they feel shocked, hard done by. Which I guess is fair enough, But let me know what you guys think about that. Do you think the 10-point deduction was fair? What do you think this means for Man City? Let me know in the comment section your thoughts, as I always do like to see what you guys have to say. Now, I can see some people in the chat talking about Jean-Clair Todibo. Happy to talk about him really, really quickly. So the story this morning is that apparently Manchester United will have to pay as much as 40 million euros to sign Jean-Clair Todibo. And the headline is that Manchester United are now prioritising the signing of a new central defender in January, with Jean-Clair Todibo being one of the leading candidates. I mean, every time this story comes out, it seems to get more and more expensive. I think 40 million is quite a lot, to be honest. 40 million euros to pounds, it's about 35 million pounds. That doesn't sound like a cut price deal to me. That doesn't sound like a kind of deal you get done considering Sir-Jim Ratcliffe owns both clubs. I would expect it to be a little bit less than that. But obviously that's just my opinion. I don't know. If Nice want 35 million pounds, 40 million euros, then I guess that's what they'll have to get, because we know Manchester United are absolutely hopeless at negotiating. So I'm not expecting us to go there and, get any cheap deal. Only because of the same owner link. We're both going to have part ownership by Ineos, so surely we should be able to get some sort of deal there, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. 40 million euros is the fee that's being floated around in the media this morning. If it's any more than that, I think that's ridiculous, personally. 40 million euros is a lot of money. I mean, how much did Aston Villa pay for Pau Torres, I know Pau Torres isn't the same player, but I remember we were linked to Pau Torres a couple of seasons ago, weren't we? And they wanted 60, 70 million euros. Aston Villa just paid 33 million euros for Pau Torres. 26 years of age, in the Spain national team. I would say he's on par with Jean-Clair Todibo, and they paid 7 million euros less than what Manchester United are being quoted for Jean-Clair Todibo. So that's the kind of thing that we have to look at. We need to be looking at other players that have gone for similar types of players and say, we're not paying more than what our Aston Villa paid for Pau Torres. We need to look at those as the benchmarks, because otherwise we just continue to get ripped off. And to be ripped off when Jim Ratcliffe's the same owner, that would just be a little bit frustrating for me. Al says, why no discount for Todibo? I thought Ratcliffe was our friend. Well, who knows, mate? Who knows? Joe says Jim Ratcliffe owns Nice. Yes, he does. Barry says City need the same treatment Rangers got. I'm not sure what that is exactly. Let me know. Let's see what else we've got. Al says, please no more old players. Try a different approach to transfers. Yeah, we'll talk about the Griezmann deal in a minute, because I know there's a mixed emotion, isn't there, in the fan base today about Griezmann. But yeah, so let me know in the comments section, guys, how much do you think is a fair price for Jean-Clair Todibo? Let me know what you guys think. For me, I would say 25 million pounds is a fair price. He's not as accomplished, let's say, as what some people think. He's still at the very, very beginning of his career. He could either become a world-class centre-back, or he might just be an average centre-back. I think that's fair to say. It's not like he's been winning Champions Leagues and all the rest of it. I'm just having a look on his profile now. He's won one trophy in his whole career. What trophy was that? He won the Spanish. He was a champion with Spain, with Barcelona in 2018. So in his whole career, he's 23. He's only won one trophy in professional football. Like, is that a world-class centre-back? When you look at other top clubs, age doesn't really matter. You look at Benfica, they've got Antonio Silva, 19 years of age, starting every single game for them. I'm not by any means saying I don't think he's a good player. I'm just saying the fact that he was at Barcelona, it clearly didn't work out. He's gone to Nice, who, let's be honest, until this season, were finishing like 9th or 10th in the French league. And he's only won one trophy at the age of 23. I don't think that's the kind of player who you'd pay 40, 50 million euros for, personally. I think somewhere around, 30 million euros would be a bit more fair. If we're going to start trying to move in a positive direction, are we just going to continue paying overinflated transfer fees? Maybe that's what will happen. And the thing that you have to remember is, right, Nice bought him from Barcelona only 2 years ago for 8 million euros. So for them to sell him for 30, that's still them making 8, 16, 24. They're still making 4 times the amount of money they paid for him. So, 40 million euros, that would be 5 times. So I think, somewhere around 30 would be good for me. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Richie says, Bruno was on fire for Portugal. What is going on at Manchester United? The thing is, though, mate, international football is very different to Premier League football. I think the quality's, very, very different. So we have to be considerate about that. Right, let's talk a little bit about this Griezmann story then, because obviously it's the one that most people are probably here to talk about. Now, this story came out from about 2 or 3 different outlets over the weekend, and the headline is Manchester United are looking to sign Antoine Griezmann in the January transfer window. Apparently, Griezmann has a release clause. Let me just double check what this release clause is. I think it's around, so his release clause is £21 million or 25 million euros. Now, I'm probably going to be maybe in a different camp here, but if we're looking at a short-term option in January to see us through to the summer, to give us some quality, to give us some experience, I think he'd be a good signing. I would much rather get Griezmann for £21 million than go and get Taremi from Porto for probably 10 to 15. They're both the same age. Let's be honest, Griezmann is world class. He is. He's one of the best players in the world, I think, in that position. Obviously, yes, he's at the twilight of his career. I get that. I think he's 31 years of age now. He's a World Cup winner, won countless Spanish League trophies and stuff. The only bit which I don't like about this deal, which I always like to give both sides of the story. If someone said to me now, we could add Griezmann to our team, I would say yes, 100%, based on what he can offer from a footballing perspective, based on what his expertise are in football, based on the character I think he is, and also just for the nostalgic feeling of having Griezmann in our team. He's a player we've been chasing for about a decade. He really is. I remember 5-6 years ago, or maybe a bit longer, we nearly signed him. And I just think it would be incredible to sign someone like Antoine Griezmann. I do. I think he's a quality player. The bit I don't like about this story, and you're probably all sat there predicting what I'm about to say next, is the story that accompanies this story is that Manchester United will apparently triple his wage. He's on about £100,000 per week at Atletico Madrid at the moment, and Manchester United are prepared to triple that wage to somewhere around £350,000 per week. You know what? I'll say this now, right? I don't like that, but Antoine Griezmann deserves that more than, say, you look for our team, Jadon Sancho's on about 300, 350, Rashford's on 350. If you're looking at it from that perspective, a Griezmann would deserve that type of money at Manchester United. If there's other players in that squad earning 350, 375, who, let's be honest, aren't on the same level as him, are they? From any perspective, from a footballing perspective, from the amount of trophies they've won, from a brand perspective, all the rest of it. Griezmann is a household name. So I don't know. So apparently, we'd have to pay him around £350,000 per week. Obviously, there is a release clause there, so Manchester United can just trigger that and sign him. Let's do a poll. Do Griezmann to United. I'm just going to get a poll going, guys. Everybody smash a like on the video, please, and subscribe to the channel, bottom right-hand corner if you haven't already. 21 million release clause plus 350k per week wages. Cool. All right. So get involved in the poll. I've put all the information of the deal in there just to give you a bit more clarity. So Griezmann to United. The fee would be £21 million. He's got a release clause that we could trigger and just sign him immediately. And he reportedly wants his wages tripled, which would be around 350 grand a week. That would put him in the same bracket as Rashford, Varane, Casemiro, and Sancho. Those 4 players earn around 350 grand a week. He's 32 years of age. The other player we've been linked to is Taremi, who is around the same age. Definitely not as prolific and would cost you about half of that. But let me know what you guys think. Ranjit says, where would we play him? Well, the thing with Griezmann is, and I think the one thing I really, really like about Griezmann is his versatility. Obviously, he can play as, as a centre forward. He can play as a cam. I think he can play on the wing as well. He can play centre forward, he can play as a striker, and he can play as a left winger. So he can play in 3 different positions. And they're 3 positions that we need to reinforce when you think about it, right? We've got one fit striker we've got Martial, but come on. Højlund needs some help. He does. He's not getting any opportunities. He's not getting any opportunities to score. He needs some help. Bruno can't play every single match. What happens if Bruno gets injured? On the left-hand side, there's massive question marks about Marcus Rashford. You're signing a world-class talent who could literally play as a striker, a centre attacking midfielder, and a winger. You're solving 3 issues, It's not like we're signing another midfielder when we've just got Mason Mount and Rabat, We're signing somebody who could effectively play in 3 different positions, which I think we're desperately lacking in. If you look through his stats as well, he has been prolific, Playing for France, he's got 44 goals in 124 matches. At international level, that's pretty good, considering he's played, obviously, in lots of different positions. This season in La Liga alone, he's got 8 goals and 1 assist in 12 matches. I mean, when you think that Rashford has scored 1 goal in 15 games, and you've got Griezmann, who scored 8 goals and got 1 assist in 12 matches, and he's got 4 goals in the Champions League as well. Just this season alone, he's got 13 goals and assists in 16 matches. And I would go for it personally. I think it would be a good signing. If it was like 100 million, I'd say no, obviously. But with a release clause there of only 21 million pounds, I think that's pretty fair, to be honest. And I think it's a good bit of business. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. Maybe this story will just be one of those ones that we look back in years to come and it kind of gets laughed about. Oh, we nearly signed Griezmann, haha, We'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. But let me know in the comment section, guys. Please let me know. I'd love to see what you guys have to say. Would you sign Griezmann at Manchester United, £21 million release clause, and 350 grand a week? Let me know. Give me your reasons why, and if not, let me know who you'd sign instead. Obviously, it would be like a relatively short-term thing, probably a 2 or 3 year contract. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Right, let's talk a little bit about this Bruno Fernandes thing really, really quickly then. So obviously, there was a story last week saying that apparently a Saudi club was going to put in €100 million offer for Bruno Fernandes, which obviously this community had mixed opinions about. Some of you said get rid of him. Some of you said he's our best player. Some of you said he's our only world-class player. There was quite a mix of emotions really that day when we were talking about that. Now, obviously it's international duty at the moment. And Bruno Fernandes has been talking about the bids or the potential bids from Saudi. He says, I don't look at rumours and I also don't pay attention to them. Today, it's very easy to spread rumours in the press. I prefer to concentrate on my goals. He's then asked again about potentially going to Saudi. He says, I'm very happy where I am and I'm focused on Manchester United. So, I mean, he's going to have to say that really, isn't he? Like, I don't think he could come out and say, yes, I want to move to Saudi. So I don't really make too much of that. I think Marcus Rashford is... So not Marcus Rashford. I think Bruno Fernandes is too good at this point. I mean, he's only 27. Is he 27 or is he 28? Let me double check. All right, he's 29. He's just turned 29. I think he's too good at this point to go to Saudi. But then arguably, Cristiano Ronaldo's gone to Saudi and he still gets picked for the Portuguese team. Is he going to win anything at Manchester United? Probably not, I don't reckon, to be honest. Like, I'm not trying to be negative here. Well, I am being negative, but not purposely. I'm just giving my opinion. Is he going to win the Premier League at United? No. Is he going to win the Champions League at United? No. Might he win the League Cup again? Well, we're out of the League Cup, so no. FA Cup, potentially. Do you see where I'm going with this? Like, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. I think he's still a very, very good player. I'd say he's our only world-class player. I seen a thing yesterday that apparently his stats this season across all competitions, including international, he's got the best XG and assists out of any player across all of the European leagues. So he still is, carrying in the numbers. But yeah, let me know in the comment section, guys, if this offer does come in for 100 million euros for Bruno Fernandes. Would you accept it? Yes or no? Anthony says Griezmann 5 years ago at those numbers, yes, but not these days. Fair enough. Right, I'm going to wrap the video up here, guys. I will be back live, obviously, at 6 p.m. today. I'm just going to give you the results of the poll. So 67% of you say you don't want Griezmann to come to Manchester United, and 33% of you say you do want Griezmann at Manchester United. I'm with the 33%. I know I'm probably contradicting myself a little bit by saying, we need to sign younger players on some videos, but I just think if an opportunity comes along to get a player like Griezmann, who I genuinely think is world class, who is still getting unbelievable stats in Champions League and in La Liga and for France, I just think that you can't not do that deal, especially for only £20 million. I think that's such a good bit of business when I think we paid Burnley like nearly 5 to 10 million to take Weghorst on loan for 6 months. So just let that sink in, But thank you so much, everyone who's joined me. Please do make sure to smash a like on the video before you go. It really helps to bring more people into the community and the channel. And also, please make sure to smash a like. We're on the road to 21,000 subscribers. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a nice morning, day, or evening, wherever you are in the world. And I'll speak to you all a little bit later.